Hi, so welcome back to my channel. Callum reads some stuff. Now, I've literally just finished it. Veronika Decides to Die by Paulo Coelho. Amazing. Just phenomenal. I've not read a book for a long time that blew my mind. Maybe I've mentioned it on my channel before, but one of the books that really changed me as a person was Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. Now, there's a lot of philosophy in that novel, and that's a huge one if you're going to get through it, but there's a lot to think about it, and it changed the way that I perceived the world. Paulo Coelho just did the same. A lot of the ideas on there I was already into, but when I started reading it at the beginning, as I was going through, thought, yeah, okay, a lot of these ideas I know, and I liked it. It's not bad. I mean, I liked it for that reason, because I made it easy to follow. But then, as it gets deeper and deeper and deeper inside the book, towards the end, I understood, Paulo Coelho is blowing my mind. At first I read it to look at the plot and the writing style. And now, when I read something, I'm looking at the way that it's written and the style of the writing, and which is what I did at first. And I was following the plot and the style of the writing and the characters all the way through. And then I got to, I think, 75% of the way through the book, and I understood, I can't think about how this is written. I've just got to enjoy it and take the philosophy. And I was completely then absorbed in that world, and I understood that Paulo Coelho had just dominated my brain and was altering it in a very, very good way. So that book fucking dominated me. It was just amazing. It was like, whoa, my brain just opened to a lot of ideas. And so the book talks about craziness and insanity and about life and having an awareness of death. And the point is that this character, Veronika, she goes into the mental institute. And so now there's going to be spoiler alerts. So if you've not read the book and you don't want me to spoil it, go and read it. You're going to have a great read. If you've already read it, let's talk about kind of the way that I interpreted it. So Veronika, she goes into this mental institute. She's going to die, and of course, so she tries to commit suicide, and then of course she doesn't. So she wakes up. Now, here's a part I liked about the book. The plot line that goes through is completely flipped of what a character wants. So normally we start with what a character wants, and they're trying to get that throughout the book. This one starts with she wants to die. That's the goal, the main goal of the character. Now, over the course of the book, actually, the antagonists are the ones who come in and they want her to live. It's a total flip of a common story where the protagonist wants a goal and the antagonists are getting in the way and trying to kill them or murder them, etc. This one, protagonist wants to die, and the antagonists are trying to make her live and trying to make her understand the joy of life. And so the plot line was just a total flip on the obvious plot line. So I found it immensely unique and original in that way. And then, so as the course of the book goes along, she struggles to commit suicide, and then she realizes that there's some joy to life. There's some joy to life. There's some joy to life. And then we have the whole thing of her being in the mental institute and realizing that actually in a mental institute people are allowed to go crazy, they're allowed to be insane, and that's why they can do anything they want. And they're free to express themselves. And in a normal society, you're not free to express yourself. You have to fit in, blend in, try to be normal, act normal, and that causes a ton of depression, because you can't express your needs, your demands, what you personally feel and want. And when you go into a mental institute and you're put in a mental institution and you're told you're crazy and now you're going to be in here, you're free. And that's the point. Like a huge part of what I took from the book was like, you're free. If you allow yourself to go crazy and allow yourself to go mad and insane, you're free. You just reach a new level, and whatever's in your soul and in your heart is free to come out. And so that actually stops your depression and leads to, at the end of the book, a joy of life, which is what Veronika discovered. She discovered that she wanted to be a pianist and play music and make love and laugh and visit nice places and fall in love and be angry, let her emotions out if she needed to not bottle up anything inside, but to just let it all go, let it all out. And over the course of the book, the more she did that, the more she understood that she was a lover of life and had this amazing joy. And so she runs away at the end of the book from the mental institute. And so what a marvellous story. What a fucking amazing story. And so there you have it, the main theme from the book. Allow yourself to go insane, which just an incredible philosophy. And so the antagonist has these is the doctor Igor, who's trying to cure her depression. This thing called vitriol, which is like this bitterness of life. That people are bitter and they go, oh, I'm so bitter and I'm so depressed at life. But it's only cured by understanding you're going to die. And it's the awareness of death which activates the awareness of life. And so that was the doctor's cure for her depression. Just a phenomenal book. I mean, just a phenomenal book. And then there's some amazing quotes from the book. I'm going to read it out. There's some things that I realized as well while reading that book. I think they were my personal things. Yeah, I mean, you could cry, get worried or angry like any other normal human being, as long as you remembered that up above, your spirit was laughing out loud at all those thorny situations. So this is a big point in the book where it was like, that you're free to do whatever you want to do, but then when you go back into society and you have these problematic situations, you can be angry, you can be depressed, you can be upset, and you can express that, but remember that at your deep down you're free. Your spirit is free. And it's laughing. For some moments, Zedka, who's a character in the book, considered the possibility of telling her about everything that was happening, but then she changed her mind. People never learn anything by being told. They have to find out for themselves. I just liked that. I liked the way that it was written. I liked that it was this something to consider. Like, I don't know if that's true or not. I watched something on YouTube the other day with Terence McKenna. He's like, true enough. It's true enough. So I think that's true enough. Beautifully expressed, this one. Time that never ends, that never passes, that remains in the present, where all of life's secrets lie. Beautifully expressed. Now, here's one I want to talk about. So, Veronika, she is insulted and feels threatened by this one of the patients in the mental institute, and she goes away, and then she comes back and she slaps him. Now, later on, one of the characters says, "What's dignity? It's wanting everyone to think you're good, well-behaved, full of love for your fellow man. Have some respect for nature. Watch a few films about animals and see how they fight for their own space. We all heartily approved of that slap of yours. I was saying, like, we have these animal instincts and we want to express that. And this book discusses that. Like, it discusses that, you know, like sometimes you want to slap somebody. Bah! That's not to say do it, because, you know, sometimes you want to kill people. I'm not saying do it, because don't do that. So maybe you should not slap people, because that's wrong. But in the context of fiction, we can express that philosophy like that, because in fiction, maybe it's okay to slap people, but in reality, you shouldn't do it. But there's other way to express your anger if you are angry, and it's, if you want to shout at somebody and let your emotions out, that's probably okay to have a good shout, or even a good cry, or, you know, shout into a pillow or something. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, it means you're human. And I feel that that's the point of that particular quote there. So maybe that's another thing I can realize about fiction, is that, you know, like, obviously, you know, she's going to die and she's in the mental institute, and there's these electroshock therapies, so I have this over-exaggeration, maybe you can call it like hyperbole, or I think just exaggeration of ideas. Bukowski said that fiction is an improvement on life. I don't think that Veronika decides is an improvement on life, because god damn, it would be horrible to be in that situation. But fiction is a over-exaggeration, a caricature, if you like, of a life, but it does express some of those truths and those philosophies which we can use personally, like this one here, you know, just allow yourself to go mad, because that's going to give you the freedom to be you. So that's what I took from the book, and I think it's a great philosophy, and definitely give it a read if you, leave your comments below of how you interpreted the book, if you read it, and you know, let's open the YouTube for a discussion. So keep reading. See you later.